How's the temperature? It feels a bit warm in here. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I think it's on the warmer side.
Yeah, I think a little bit cooler. Slowly people are falling off like 10 green bottles. So I really encourage you to make yourself really comfortable, because especially if you've done all the sessions today, you might be feeling a bit tired. So get lots of cushions. You don't have any pillars here, but in the monastery, you always look to sit by the pillar because your back can have the support.
在
No
寺庙
pillars here.
通常人家都找柱子坐，因为有的靠，这边没有柱子，没得靠。可是最重要的是法师关心你们说，今天这么多关，最后一关了，所以如果最重要是坐得舒服，因为有点累了应该是，所以坐得舒服一些啊。
Have you done a 9-stage purification breathing? No, okay. Where's my friend, my new friend, Wahun? Have you done 9-stage purification breathing? 9-stage purification breathing? No, okay. I need my glasses to keep me awake now. Yeah, it's quite hot. Okay. Should I start? Yeah? Shall I start? I think we've lost a few people. Stamina. Yeah. We won't be too long this evening, I think, because pretty much all of you have done all the sessions, which is wonderful. So I want you to be fresh for tomorrow. Yeah. So what I thought we'd do is very much think about how we would start a daily practice from a Vajrayana point of view.
我们应该我想我们反思一下，我们每天怎样修行。从金刚乘的角度，怎么样每天每日的修行。
So people often ask me where to begin or how to begin.
人常常问我怎么开始。
And from a Vajrayana point of view, this is a good way to begin. So I thought it's nice to share it with you today. Yeah. So just to start our practice, as always, we will take the Mahayana refuge and the great motivation, the great Mahayana motivation. Yeah. So it's on your prayer sheet. So I'll say it in English 3 times, and Ray, the great translator, will say it in Chinese 3 times. Yeah? Okay. So when you're sitting in front of the shrine, then you already have the Buddha. You usually have some text to represent the Dharma, and usually have some noble Sangha, such as you have this photo here. So usually all 3 elements are present on your shrine.
Um, 通常我们修行的时候，前方都有一个神台， 神台上就只有佛菩萨，那就是经文就是法，然后我们这边有佛，还有通常都有就菩萨嘛，所以就是所佛法三宝都在。
So often when we take refuge, those physical supports, they're called supports, are there to help us take refuge in the three jewels. Supports.
这些都是支撑我们皈依三宝的。
But often they're not there. So then, what do you have to do?
如果他们不在的话，怎么办呢？
What do you have to do? Visualize.
观想。
It's all knitting together now so nicely. How do you visualize?
怎么观想呢？
Appearance, emptiness.
色相。
Still, appearance, emptiness.
仍然还是色相。
So again, you can use those skills there. Yeah? So here you have the actual thing. Otherwise, you generate. You generate.
如果面前没有佛法僧的话，可以观想从自己升起。
Actually, maybe I'll sing in Tibetan. I think I want to sing in Tibetan. I'll sing in Tibetan. Bad luck. Sangye chutang soki chugnam la jangjam bado dani chap suchi nagi jin sok jipe sanam gi Jola penche sangye ju parsho Sangye ju tang soki chugnam la Jangjam bado dani chap suchi Nagi jin sok jipe sanam gi Jola penche sangye ju parsho Sangye ju tang soki chugnam la Jangjam bado dani chap suchi Nagi jin sok jipe sanam gi Jola penche sangye ju parsho.
我皈依佛法贤僧直至菩提，依我布施等功德，为利众生愿成佛。我皈依佛法贤僧直至菩提，依我布施等功德，为利众生愿成佛。我皈依佛法贤僧直至菩提，依我布施等功德，为利众生愿成佛。
Okay, so then once you've taken refuge, then we will do the purification breathing practice, which involves hand mudras also.
皈依之后呢，我们现在进行净化的气息修行，需要用到手印。
In the Himalayan tradition, there are a few variations of this. I'm going to just teach you a simple one, so it's not too complicated. Yeah.
喜马拉雅传统有许多不同的方法，我们现在学的是一个很简单的。
So first of all, the thumb
拇指
comes to the fourth finger, and you
第四只手指
curl your fingers over. Yeah. Here. Yeah. Then slowly breathe in through the nose.
慢慢吸气，通过鼻子。
And then slowly breathe out through the nose and extend your fingers.
慢慢从鼻子吸气呼气，然后慢慢的伸出你的手指。
Yeah? So, okay, so coordinate this, yeah? Breathing in. Okay. Good. Okay, so we're just settling ourselves now. So
像是
let
安定自
me,
己。
yeah, let me show you what I'm going to do. Watch carefully, okay? Maybe you can explain.
OK， 现在注意看我示范。
Watch me, yeah?
他
So I'm going to do that.
左手食指按着左边鼻孔，右手手指按着右边鼻孔，从左边呼气，然后从左边鼻孔呼吸，从右边鼻孔呼气。再来从右边鼻孔吸气，从左边鼻孔呼气，吸气，从右边鼻孔呼气。从两鼻孔吸气，呼气，右边吸气，左边呼气，左边吸气。右边呼气，从两个鼻孔吸气，呼。
Okay. So it may look a little bit complicated, but I think Ray has helped you a lot. You helped, right?
I tried
Sounded
to.
like it's good, yeah? So I'll just run through it. This whole practice, you can maybe write it down or something, yeah? So long inhale through the nose, long exhale through the nose. Left hand into this mudra.
长吸气从鼻孔，长呼气从鼻孔，左
Close the left
左
nostril.
食指关着左边的
Breathing
鼻孔，
in through the right nostril, making this mudra.
从右鼻孔呼吸，用右手做手印，
Breathing out through the
呼出
left,
气。
here's the mudra.
从左边的鼻孔
Extending the
呼出
mudra.
去，
Breathing in,
吸进气，
breathing
右
out,
边呼出气，
breathing in.
吸进气，呼出气，
Start again.
再来，
Breathing in,
右边吸气，
Breathing out.
左边呼气，
In.
左边吸气，
Out.
右边呼气，
Both in.
两边吸进吸气，呼气，
One more.
再次，右边吸气，左边呼气，从左边吸气，右边呼气，从两边吸气，呼气。
Okay. How's that? Is it clear or super complicated?
还好吗？还是特别复杂？
Is that right? Okay. So then we're going to do one more thing.
我们再做一样事，
Because we also have the mind.
因为我们还有心，
We have the hand, we have the prana, the breath,
手
but we
气
also，have the mind.
还有心。
Yeah. So when we breathe in, whenever we breathe in,
我们
we
每次吸
breathe
气的时
in
候，
the light of the Buddha, the blessings of the Buddha. We breathe in light.
我们吸进佛菩萨的加持
Breathe
光
in
芒。
light. And whenever we breathe out as if there's gray smoke leaving our being.
我们呼气的时候就观想灰色的烟从离开我们的身体，
Yeah, cleaning anything. So when we breathe out, gray smoke can come from here, can come out from the
可以从
fingers,
鼻子、手指，
can come out from feet.
可以从脚板，就是清理自己身体的一个方法。
So it feels very clear, clean when you breathe in.
所以吸进的时候，那感觉是很清晰、很干净的。
And any mistakes, any regrets,
任何错过，任何遗憾，呼出去。
yeah. So you just kindly let go of now. You let the mistakes, the regrets, let them go. They just will absorb in the earth.
一切的过错，一切的遗憾，全部放下，它会融入土地。
This is very important because usually the habit we have practiced
这很重要，因为平时我们的习性
is to kind of absorb negativity
就是吸收负面的
Yeah.
影响，
and then never to get rid of it, just to hold on to it.
就
And
是握着负面的影响而不放下，就是习惯性。
so this is to reverse this habit, transform this habit.
这就是把这个习惯反过来，
Quite profound. And
蛮深奥的。
I would do this every day,
我会每天都
Yeah.
做这个，
always bringing in the
每次带
clearness
进，
and regretting letting go of any mistakes, any
放下。
harmful things. We don't want the harmful thoughts, the harmful to remain in us. Then it makes us ill, isn't it?
那些负面的念头我们都放下，因为会让我们生病。
So first of all, we just practice this just with simply, right? So let's just practice this, right? So let's breathe in this the clear light, yeah.
所以吸进这清晰的 的光芒，这佛菩萨的加持。
And then as you breathe out, just add this feeling of letting go of the anything to regret.
呼
Yeah.
出气的时候，就呼出一切的遗憾和过错。
Yeah. So in, we fill with light. Out,
吸进气。
grey smoke, taking it away. Yeah.
吸进的时候白光，呼出去的时候灰色的烟。
Okay. So particularly with the grey smoke, try to really see it like a tube, like a straw of grey smoke, like quite specific.
那个烟呢，就是要像2根水草这样，2个管这样的呼出来。
So when we put it into the whole practice, obviously it's quite a lot to remember, and you've only just learned it.
我们把它放在我们整个修行是很多东西要记得，然后你们才刚刚学习。
So I think it's good if you try to do it on your own, at your own pace, using the visualization, if you feel happy to do that.
所以跟着你们自己的节奏跟方便就练习这个修法方法。
Yeah. How does that sound? Or is it just confusing? Are you okay?
还好吗？还是混乱 ？OK。
You're okay? Yeah? Okay. I won't look at you. So you just do it in your own time. So I'll do it. Just remember, every time I'm breathing in, the clear light. And every time I'm breathing out, letting go of the
洁净的白
cold
光
smoke.
进来，灰色肮脏的呼出去。
So we'll do that first, and then we'll just rest, like here with our hands here or here. Then we'll just rest for a moment. You can do any kind of simple resting the mind practice that you enjoy to do. Yeah?
可以做任何让你安定静心的方法。
Okay, so relax, relax, relax,
放轻松，
relax.
放轻松。
First relax, yeah. Relax, there we go. Like we're going to bring in the air from a very vast space.
我们带进从广阔的空间的那个气。
Yeah, so don't be too tight in
不要那么紧迫。
yourself. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, good luck.
祝你们好运。
Okay. And then where you are, just become aware of the space inside your mouth where your speech comes from,
留意你的口腔，言语发出的地方，
your tongue.
你的舌头。
We want this space to be very clean.
我们这个空间特别的清净，
So you can just imagine sitting on your tongue a white moon disk,
想象你的舌头上坐着一个月轮，
with a white sphere of light sitting on the moon disk.
有一个一个白光的球坐在这月轮上，
And you can just imagine that from the white sphere of light, light rays go to the Buddhas to ask for their blessings, that your speech be clean and of benefit to all beings. So just imagine this sphere sending out these lights to the Buddhas, and then the Buddhas helping bring the light back to the sphere.
想象这光球发出光芒，向往佛菩萨，祈求佛菩萨的加持，净化我们的言语，能够利益有情众生。
And then the moon disk of light can dissolve into the sphere.
月轮呢，能够融入这光球，
And then the sphere of light can dissolve into your tongue.
然后这光球呢就融入你的舌头。
And let us hope your mind is of benefit to all beings, and your speech can be of benefit to all beings.
我们就希望我们的心跟我们的言语能够利益帮助一切有情众生。
So now we have a clean place to begin practice.
现
A
在我们有
clean.
有更清净的道场能够修行。
So, yes, good. Another long beginning.
这是一个漫长的开始。
So I said the subject of the talk was the four thoughts that turn the mind to Dharma.
所以我们今晚的题目是回心四法，
Yeah, and it should be on your handout.
应该在我们这个讲义里边。
The summary is on your handout. So we'll just go through this, yeah? You will have found by now that through the experience of our worldly existence, we may begin to realize that samsara is inherently disappointing.
现在你应该至今你应该知道，我们在世间的经验是它的本性是充满着失望的。
We will have begun to experience what the Buddha called the truth of suffering.
我们也应该体会到佛陀所说的苦的这本性。
Suddenly we realize worldly existence is not reliable.
我们突然间会发现世俗的存在不可靠。
Things we had placed our faith in, our trust in, disappoint us. Yes? We begin to notice the habits of suffering in ourselves and in others, And that can be quite a difficult moment for a human.
我们发现我们放往信任或者是信心的地方，会通常让我们失望，而这会带我们一个很黑暗的一个心态。
Now, if we don't have the Buddha and the Dharma and the Sangha to turn to at that point, then we can get very lost.
如果我们那种时候没有三宝的如果没有三宝的话，我们会感觉到非常的迷失。
Because we're experiencing the truth of suffering, and therefore we may become depressed, anxious, turn to harmful habits, or we just become very disillusioned, like in a very negative way.
我们会很容易的感觉到失落、焦急，或者对一切都感觉到很失望。
So I put here in the handout, if we do not have the Dharma and the chance to transform our mind with the wisdom of Dharma, then such samsaric existences may be very hard to bear and lead to mental unhappiness and greater suffering.
所以如这边所写的，如果我们没有这机会以佛法的智慧转换我们的心，我们世时轮回中的经验会难以承受，可导致精神上的痛苦和更大的煎熬。
But through the teachings of the Buddha and his examination of suffering, the nature of suffering, having seen the truth of suffering, examining the nature of suffering, turning his mind to the Dharma, this shows us the way. When we see the truth of suffering, don't give up, don't become depressed. When you see the nature of samsara, don't give up, but we need to turn it into walking the path of Dharma.
佛陀参考着苦的本性的时候，他就转向把心转向佛法。所以我们遇到困难的时候、困境的时候，不要放弃，是一个机会把如佛陀那样转向佛法的一个机会。
So this is why sometimes we say that the Dharma is neither the extreme of eternalism, which is deep attachment to samsaric existence, or the extreme of nihilism, which says nothing matters, my life is meaningless, everything stinks. These two extremes, right? The Dharma provides a way free of extremes.
所以佛法是在这两种心态、极端心态之间，就是一方面就说一切是永恒的另外一边就说一切是没有意思的，所以佛法使者这可以说中道之路。
Yeah. Because somebody who has had a lot of gripping to a lot of attachment to samsaric existence, when they get disappointed, they are very much likely to go to the other extreme.
所以当一个执着在轮回的一个人很轻易的往某一个极端就困在那边。
So one of the first steps in terms of recognizing, okay, this is samsara, it's not fully satisfying, it's not going to bring me unchanging happiness. How do I transform that onto the path? One of the first ways to do that is to examine these four foundations that turn the mind to Dharma. Yeah.
我们如何对把轮回的失望跟不满怎么转向于佛法呢？这边有四个方法。
And that will save us from wanting to cling to one of the extremes again.
这可以避免我们就向往于某个极端，就是极端思想。
And in Mahayana and the middle way philosophy, you will examine that more and more and more and more to a mind which does not cling to an extreme. It's without the need to cling to an extreme.
所以大乘中道中的哲学，你会发现很多修法是让你不拥有就是极端的心态，不这种极度的看法。
Which is obviously extremely exciting. That we have the teachings of the Buddha and the middle way philosophy, which does not rely on clinging to an extreme. This is something very unique to Buddhism.
这中道哲学是
really unique, incredible. So
就佛学中很独特，很
yeah, so please, if you have some difficult samsaric experience as a Buddhist, don't go to that extreme. Turn your mind to Dharma. Yeah. On the other hand, you could say, can I really ever properly turn my mind to Dharma if I don't see samsara as suffering? Probably not. So in some ways, our most difficult moments have the most energy to be transformed into walking the path.
所以佛弟子碰到困难的时候，请不要往某个极端的心态，这对我们来讲是一个改变就是促进我们在这修法的道路上的一个很好的机会。
Are we experiencing the suffering of cold?
我们现在经历过
Are we experiencing the suffering of cold?
冷的苦吗？
I think we're experiencing the suffering of cold, Marcus. You're not experiencing the suffering of cold, okay, but I think some people here are starting to put on extra clothes. So we've just listed here in the handouts the 4 reflections, the 4 insights into the nature of things from a Buddhist point of view. So we've just listed them here, is to turn the mind to know the preciousness of human life, which is defined as having 8 freedoms and 10 advantages.
所以第一，我们有4个反思。第一个就是人生难得，其中有8暇施满，就是对，8暇就是也就是这个八种自由。
The nature of impermanence and continual change.
无常的本性和不断的变迁。
This is an important one because until we realize this, we will mistakenly grasp impermanent things as permanent.
这很重要，很关键的，因为如果我们不了解这一点的话，我们会把一切东西看似为固体的、实体的。
And in grasping it, we'll experience the suffering of change, one of the 3 forms of suffering.
就因为执着这10项，这就是我们苦的一个根源，就是三种苦的根源之一。
The third reflection to turn the mind to is the infallibility of karma.
第3个呢，就是因果万无一失的影子。
And often people forget this because they think Buddhism is just woo woo, smiley happy people. Yeah.
通常人家都忘记这一点，因为很多人都以为佛教是正能量啊，不怎么。
Buddhism is really clear here that non-virtuous activity leads infallibly to suffering and negative karma. positive activity, non-harming activity leads to positive karma in an infallible way. So one of the main causes of happiness has to be non-virtuous action. When we say may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness, we wish they make that connection, that non-virtue leads to suffering, virtue leads to happiness. This is knowing the cause of happiness and the cause of suffering. And it's absolutely infallible in Buddhism.
所以在佛教哲学里呢，就是因果从因果看呢，这善业一定会有善果，恶业一定会有恶果。所以我们在四无量心里愿诸众生永居安乐及安乐因的时候呢，也就是希望，也就是有这个连接，就是希望一切众生，包括自己，都有这一些善因，来得到最完整的快乐，就是离苦得乐这样。
It's just not up for negotiation. You just can't kind of barter.
没得讨论，这是很一定的道理。
You can't do something harmful and hope somehow it's going to bring happiness. It's not possible. It does not work.
恶业不可能会有善果。
Yeah.
不可能的。
It may not be obvious to you, but carried on the winds of karma, it will ripen.
可能现在不明显，可是经过因果的那个风这是不能够避免的。
Yeah.
无可抵挡的。
Just trying to remember that quote from Shantideva. So it's Shantideva says, if you want to know your past karma, look at your life today. If you want to know your future karma, look at your mind today. So it's a nice quote from Shantideva.
所以Shantideva呢，就是祭天论师所说过，就是你要知道你今天的因果，就看你过去；你要知道你过去你未来的因果，就看你的现在。
Whatever you're breeding in your mind today will come to ripen in your future, this life or next life. Whatever you're breeding, whatever you're breeding, how can you say breeding? Like cultivating, like growing. What are you growing in your mind today? You're growing some jealousy of somebody, you're growing some greed, you're growing some anger. What are you growing there? Look at it carefully. Be careful.
注意你今天种的是什么？
Yeah.
这是什么样的因？是贪吗？是嫉妒吗？
Yeah, grow good things, cultivate good things.
要种培养好的东西。
We can't
善的因。
bargain with this.
这个是没得讨论，没有讨价还价的。
And the fourth one is to not be confused as to the nature of samsara.
第四个呢，不是轮回。
And therefore seek a true desire for enlightenment.
就是不误解轮回的本性，然后有觉悟的渴望。
I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't have worldly happiness. We should have worldly happiness. And we're not saying that we shouldn't, but liberation from samsara is enlightenment. It's not simply being peaceful with samsara. It is liberation from samsara. Yeah.
不是说世俗的快乐不对，可是就是脱解轮回是。Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I was just saying we do need worldly happiness. There's nothing wrong with worldly happiness.
Yes.
Holy moly, there's like 1,000 books on worldly happiness now out there. Did you notice that? I mean, that's like...
对，所以世俗的快乐没问题。
Yeah. But from a Buddhist point of view, there's nothing wrong with worldly happiness. But our aim is not to simply be peaceful with samsara. Our aim is to be liberated from samsara, as the Buddha showed us.
所以我们的目标不是
Yeah.
安定于这些世俗的快乐，而是完整的脱离苦海，脱离轮回。
So, if you find yourself in you're veering towards one of those extremes, I want everything from worldly existence, I'm so disillusioned with. If you're heading off into one of these extremes, please remember, no, turn my mind to Dharma. Don't cling to an extreme. See this extreme, turn my mind to Dharma. What do I need to remember? Precious human life, nature of impermanence, infallibility of karma, nature of samsara, wish to be free of samsara. Yeah.
当
Poor Ray. Oh, poor Ray.
他在解说，那如果你的心突然间会有倾向于两个极端之一的，就是安定于世俗的快乐，或者是觉得一切都没意思的时候，谨记着佛法，就是谨记着对佛陀的教诲。
Yeah. Okay. So obviously we are speaking from a Mahayana point of view here, and I keep saying that. Yeah.
这是大致北传佛教的角度来看这些。
So let's look first of all at something which I find in terms of having a healthy sense, a relaxed sense of who you are on a conventional level. I find this first reflection on the preciousness of your human life is actually very important.
如果说看我们一个健康的自我身份啊，自我这第一个认识难的是一个很重要的一点。
Because maybe it's always been this way, but it seems like people are very hard on themselves, and they look at others and they feel like bad because they're not like them, and they're very harsh with themselves and very critical of themselves, and this is not a helpful or healthy basis for a practice.
我们通常拿自己来跟别人做比较，或者是对自己的很苛刻，其实对自己很不善，所以这对我们的修行是没有帮助的。
So we need to see clearly the opportunity we have been given already. We already had it. We already won the lottery. We already were born in a human form.
我们要看到我们有的机会，我们已经中了马票我们已经身为人，我们已经有一切的成道的潜能。
You know, we were having lunch downstairs on this white table, us humans sitting around eating our lunch, and there's just a little ant on the white table, right? Just walking along the white table, right? And my friend said, you know, you just need to poke your finger near it like this a few times. It'll completely confuse the ant. Imagine being like that, where it's just somebody's movement of a finger can completely confuse you. You don't know which way to go now. Just some other being moving their finger.
我们刚才在下午吃饭的时候，在白桌上有一只小小的蚂蚁，有人跟我说呢，如果拿的指甲在蚂蚁前面摆动几下，蚂蚁就会不知所措，就会混乱。所以想想，如果我们像这只蚂蚁一样，一点点的其他众生做的一些东西，一点点的影响，我们也跟着轻易的被摇摆。
We saw 3 very sick dogs the other day near here with like mange, like their fur is coming off in patches. Yeah.
我们前几天也看到3只生病的狗毛也开始脱落这样。
We really have to realize we already gained something incredible.
我们得谨记，我们已经得到一个很美妙的一个礼物。
So when you look at your own situation, or you think, how is how do you say? I forgot how you say it now. Guan Yin. When you think when Guan Yin sees you, they're seeing this incredible potential there in you. They know you have Buddha nature. You have the best birth possible.
所以想象观音看着我们的时候，他看到的是我们不可思议的潜能。
So when we see ourselves clearly, we know that our precious human life is rare.
所以我们清晰的看着自己的时候，我们就会看得到人生真的很难得。
It's hard to find. It's also hard to maintain.
很难找得到，也很难维持。
And it is called the most accomplishing body.
也是视为最有成就的身。
And from a Mahayana point of view, that means that you have the potential to benefit yourself and to benefit others. That's an accomplishing body to have. Yeah.
很有成就的身体，就是你有能力利益自己，也利益他人的潜能。
Because the ant, he can't read Gampopa.
那芝麻也不可能读甘波帕或者任何圣。
He's not going to be studying the Satipatthana Sutra.
他不可能去研究萨提帕纳经文。
He's not choosing between virtue and non-virtue. He's not training his mind.
他不再修行，他不再选择善恶或善或恶。
And all of these things you can choose to do.
而我们作为人呢，能够做一个明确的选择。
And when I say that, I hope you feel woohoo.
我这么说，我希望你们会觉得
Not
哇
like pressure, but like woohoo.
，woohoo！
I'm doing it for the ant.
我为了这只蚂蚁
I'm doing it for
修
the
行。
ant. Yeah. So these are the 3 reasons. When you look at yourself clearly, you know you already had the greatest opportunity. Rare, hard to find, hard to maintain, and the most accomplishing body.
所以看着自己的时候，就会希望你们能看到真的人生真的罕见，然后很难维持，还有
Most accomplishing body.
最有成就的身体。
Now, in our text, when we study in our text, it then says, little naughtily, it then says, if you don't benefit yourself and others, i.e. you don't practice virtue, you don't train your mind, you don't help others, how can you be sure you will ever get this opportunity again?
我们的经文有些比较调皮，说如果你不修你的心，你不去做善业，你怎么可能会再有这个人的躯体呢？对。
So then, of course, you think, oh, yeah, how did I get this chance? How did I get this chance to be born human?
然后你就想，对啊，我怎么有
Where did I arrive from? Where did I arise from?
我从哪里浮现的？
And to understand your present life, to understand your past karma, look at your present life. You got here because of your past karma. That's how you got a precious human life.
你要知道你的过去的因果是怎样，你就要看你现在的人生。Sorry.
No. Yeah. Next life is in your hands.
下一辈子是在你们的手中。
So we need this healthy. We need to see ourselves clearly like this, right? And there's some power there. There's some chance there to bring yourself to Buddhahood and help many beings. This chance is there.
我们要需要这个很健康的观念，就是看到这个机会，这很美妙的机会。
This is why when I look at like Sister Kathy with all her activities to help in many parts of the world, and Brother Darren here working so hard for the center, it's so wonderful to see that. It's like this verse, they have really understood this verse, right? It's so wonderful to see it. Yeah.
所以我看到Sister Kathy Darren 他们行那么多善业，就感觉到哇，他们真的了解这第一段这个人生难得，所以他觉得很感动。
So how does that sound? How does it sound to you to look at your situation and your sense of things in that way? Is it easy for you? Is it difficult for you?
这样的看自己的情况，这样反思自己的情况，容易会困难吗？还是也一样能够看到自己人生难得？
Okay.
可以吗？
Yeah. Good. Anybody? Any obstacle?
什么
Okay. When you feel like you made a mistake or you feel upset about it, do you still remember this or do you suddenly hate yourself?
如果你做了一些错的事情，你做错事了，那一刻你会还记得这一点吗？还是你会恨自己？
If you do that, then calmly remember, okay, I made a mistake. I have a precious human opportunity, rare, hard to find, had the potential for accomplishing body. Come on.
所以一旦有那种思想的时候，就谨记人生难得难得找到最有成就的身体，这一点。
Don't go to nihilism. Don't go to nihilism.
不要去到那一个负面的极端。
Of course, it's also why we care for others, isn't it? It's also why we care for other humans and feel compassion to beings in all realms.
这也是为什么我们对其他人也那么的慈悲。
The more you understand the potential of a human life, the more you will respect and support and take joy in the flourishing of another human life.
但你知道，真的是了解，就是人生的潜能，你也会欣赏，也会看到另一个人生的可贵。
I think our world needs this.
我觉得我们世界需要这样的观念。
So now we've said it's wonderful to have a precious human life. Now we have a risk of really grasping it and developing pride if we go too far in this direction.
所以我们现在知道人生难得，可是我们往这个方向太极端的执着的话，就会变成我执。
But don't worry, because the next reflection reminds us that this precious human body is impermanent.
可是不用担心，第二点就会提醒我们，这难得的人生是无常的。
So in the text, the way it describes it in the text is that we are all, in Tibetan the word is a being who goes round and round, a jowa, a being who goes, and it's a being who goes round and round, life after life, death, life, death, life, death, life, da 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 da. We're all doing this.
在藏文有一个名词 jowa， 这是一个这个总是就是一直绕圈圈的生死，一直绕着这个圈。
So we really understand the preciousness of the human life. We appreciate it, but we don't mistake it for something permanent.
我们珍惜人生难得，我们珍惜人生，可是我们不要把它误解为一个永远存在的东西，实体的东西。
And in fact, for the Theravadan practitioners here, when you read the Satipatthana Sutra on mindfulness, the 4 foundations of mindfulness,
当就是南传的读这个 Satipatthana Sutra 的关于正念的时候，
those mindfulness practices are about showing the truth of impermanence.
那些正念的修行是要显现无常的本性。
Which is why everything is described, like your breathing is described as arising and vanishing, arising and vanishing, arising and vanishing. Yeah.
所以他们就描述说你的气息是浮现又消散，浮现又消散的。
So these two come as a pair, precious human life and impermanence. They come as a pair. They go together.
所以人生呢，这个跟无常是一对的。
And then the third one is meditating on the infallibility of karma. And the verse here in the text says, something that you know already, something that you know already. This is nothing you don't know, right? It says, as the moment comes for me to leave. You don't have it written there? No. So I've sprung it on you, haven't I?
Should I translate it?
Try to.
Okay. 所以这3点关于因果呢，当是时候让我得离去的时候，世俗的财宝或亲朋好友都不会跟着我。然后当我们往另一个我们上我们的旅程，跟着我们的是我们的业，就如我们的影子。
Yeah. Well done, Ren. Extra merit. So it says, as the moment comes for me to leave, right? So that's the moment of our subtle consciousness leaving our physical body. At that moment, and neither material wealth nor dear friends nor relatives will follow. We have to separate. We have the suffering of separating from our loved ones. But we will be traveling forward. It says, wherever we travel henceforward. So there's a journey to come. Yeah? We're going on a journey. The karmic deed is all that follows, like one's own shadow. So the karma is what is, as I said before, is we are traveling on the winds of karma. And no material possessions or friends can stop the infallibility of that karma, you know. Sorry, did you say something? Yeah. System breaking down now. Impermanence of translators.
You're talking about you were talking about the karmic winds.
Yeah, when at the moment when we come to leave, but the things that we normally want to rely on in worldly existence, right? Yeah, we can't rely on them anymore.
我们不能依赖着我们世俗上的一切东西，不能依赖。
Only karma will.
只有因果。
And what determines our karma most powerfully is the mind. Karma is driven by mind. So our motivation, our intention. This is why I keep coming back to this question of what is motivating your practice, because it has an impact on your karmic footprint.
所以因果的操作呢，因果是由我们的心而操作的，所以我一直强调说我们的动机是什么，我们的意念是什么，因为这就是对我们的修行的很大的影响，最关键的影响其实。
Which is why I said earlier on today, if you give something to someone thinking, oh, I don't like them, I don't want to give this, but I'm gonna have to give this. Yeah, with that kind of mind, even though you've given them something, the karma is negative.
所以之前所说的，我给人一个给人家礼物的时候，觉得我不想给他，我不喜欢他，他不珍惜我这礼物。虽然是给人的东西，可是那种的因呢，其实也是不善的因。
So you look at your mind. That's why Shantidevi says to see your future life, look at your mind today. That's why he says it.
所以Shantideva 说呢，要知道我们未来是怎么样，就是要看我们现在的心是怎样。
Oh, that point you don't want to leave the house. I'm never going to leave the house ever again. I'm never going to do
不敢离
anything.
开
I'm
家。
never going to meet anyone.
不要遇见任何人。
So scary. Okay. But you can also, you can rely on karma. You can rely on positive karma. It is infallible. So if you have a pure motivation and leading to pure speech, pure action, that's money in the bank, kind of. That's karma in the bank, or good karma in the bank, isn't it? That's also certain. That is certain. So when I meet somebody who's dying or close to death, and they have done many virtuous activities, been very kind, then nothing to worry about.
所以我们能够依靠因果，因为因果真的是万无一失，就如银行里的钱那样。所以当我遇到面临死亡的人的时候，如果他们这一世有做很多善事，其实是没什么好紧张的，没什么可怕的，因为银行里有钱。那这个形式上意思。
I think because I'm a bit tired, I feel like I know what you're saying now. I feel like I'm understanding Chinese. I'm not understanding Chinese.
But speaking English.
Sorry, I'm speaking German. Oh, dear. Okay. And the other understanding to turn your mind to is what causes suffering, the nature of samsara. So samsara is a mental state.
所以轮回是新的一个状态。
It's not a place.
它不是一个地方。
I'll go to Malaysia, then I'll go to samsara. It's not like that.
就是说我去马来西亚，又再去samsara，就是轮回。
As simply a mental state of negative, habitual mental patterns.
就是一个新的一个状态，是习性跟新的对一种习性。
And knowing that leads to suffering.
知道这会导致痛苦。
We develop the sincere wish to liberate from the constant prison of negative mental afflictions.
所以我们培养一个诚恳的愿望，脱离这个困境，这个监狱。
Yeah, which of course is like the Four Noble Truths. Truth of suffering, know the truth of the origin of suffering, the truth of liberation from suffering, truth of the path for the liberation from suffering. It's all really in there, the Four Noble Truths perspective in this fourth reflection.
这观点呢，就如佛陀所说的那个四真谛啊，这苦的真实，苦能解脱苦的真实。What are the other two?
Truth of suffering.
苦的真理。
Truth of the origin of suffering. So Buddha wants us to investigate, as I've said, what causes happiness, what causes suffering. He said, look at what causes it.
这苦的根源。
And then the truth of liberation from suffering. We have to think it's possible to liberate from suffering. Otherwise, what are we all doing?
能够脱离痛苦的。
Might as well watch Netflix.
倒不如看 Netflix， 所以我们得相信真的有能够脱离苦海的。
And the fourth noble truth is the truth of the path to the liberation from suffering.
第四个就是佛法道的修行的道路。
Yeah, got it. There's no test at the end of it. There's no exam, right? You'll be right. You'll be right. These are the four reflections to rely on to stop us clinging to an extreme.
所以这四种反思呢，就阻止我们偏向任何一个极端。
And they turn the mind to Dharma. because the mind stops looking for satisfaction there, and it stops looking for rejection there, and the mind instead turns its energy to walk the path of Dharma. It turns to Dharma. Now the mind turns to Dharma.
因为我们的心不倾向于世俗的满足感，或者是世间的被拒绝的两个极端，它把我们的心转往佛法。
So from a Vajrayana point of view, when we practice, this is how we start.
所以金刚乘的修行，我们是这样的开始。
We clean the pranic system. We let go of any mistakes, regrets that we're hanging on to. We clean the speech. Obviously, we've taken refuge. We clean the speech and hope our speech is helpful in the world. And then again and again and again and again, we turn our mind to Dharma. We turn our mind to Dharma.
所以我们从一个很清净、很干净的地基开始，我们放下一切的过错，一切的负面的思想，然后呢，我们皈依了，然后我们愿我们的身与意能够利益众生，然后对，转向佛法。
Yeah. So this is a foundation now, foundation for practice.
这是我们修行的地基。
And as I said the other day, we would always say these words out loud so that we hear our own voice. We hear our own voice saying these truths out loud.
所以我们常强调，我们需要听到自己的声音，说出我们的宏的愿。
Yeah, so I'll just remind you of them now. I'll just read them in full. I'll read them in Tibetan and English. And we won't worry about the Chinese, or Ray will have a heart attack. So just to be compassionate to Ray, we'll just do it in Tibetan and English. So reflecting and realizing the difficulties in obtaining a precious human life. Ando Jodininya Pashanduka, Kebu Dunjob Tokbaju Pala, Galte di la ben pa ma jubna. This precious human body with freedom and advantages is difficult to obtain. When one has obtained this powerful and accomplishing body, if one does not benefit oneself and others in this life, is there any way that one can obtain such pure human advantage in future lives? Meditating on impermanence. Sisum mitak tunke chintangra, joy ke chi galata tangsung, joy se jonam ke loktrate, riza babchu tabu nyu jokjo. The three realms are as impermanent as autumn clouds in the sky. The birth and death of the six beings is like viewing the continual movement of a dancer. The existence of beings passes away like a flash of lightning, like a stream running down a steep hill. It passes away quickly. Meditating on karma and its causes and results. Duki nyen ne rangni jo ese long chu zadang ne she je mi jang. As the moment comes for me to leave, neither material wealth nor dear friends nor relatives will follow. Wherever one travels henceforth, the karmic deed is all that follows, like one's own shadow. Meditating on the defects of samsara. Sisum ka dang ne ki duk nyal ba, dina chi me rap ba gun me de. Si le jung la jo wa tak tu mong bum pa chu pe bum wa ko wa jin. The three worlds are burning with the miseries of old age and sickness. Beings are tormented by the flame of death without protection. Beings are always ignorant of renunciating themselves from the three realms. That means freeing themselves from the three realms. They are similar to a circling bee trapped in a vase. Oh, what joyful thoughts. So if we are to see our possibility clearly and not be confused, these are the 4 practices to turn the mind to Dharma. So I encourage you to research them, reflect on them, in order that you can do that practice. You can turn your mind to Dharma. So it'll be very easy, I think, to find it on the Google and
所以
places.
觉得能看到我们做人生的潜能，精心的看到我们人生潜能是很重要的，所以不迷惑我们做人的潜能能成就的潜能，所以我鼓励大家就自己做功课，在谷歌上搜一下这回心四法， 更加深一点的了解这回心四法。
Any questions there? Any confusion?
有什么问题吗？
No? Okay. Well, you've all done amazingly well today. We've had like a massive day of Dharma. So I think we'll leave it there with the dedication. And I really thank you for your attention. And I hope you can come tomorrow. But you know, if not, then I wish you all the best with turning your mind to Dharma from here. So hope to see you another time if I don't see you tomorrow. Yeah.
所以如果我们明天希望你们明天会来谢谢你们今天参与。如果你明天见不到你们的话，我希望你们会就是把心转向佛法，然后对。
Okay, so now we will dedicate the merit of all we've learnt, and you've learnt a lot this evening actually. Yeah. So yeah, breathing practice, cleaning speech, for mind turning practices, good. So I'll just say this in English, the general dedication prayer on your sheet, and then Ray will say it in Chinese. Do join in with both either. By this merit, may all beings obtain omniscience. May it defeat the enemy which is wrongdoing. May all beings be freed from the ocean of samsara, with its stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death.
以此功德正遍知，无有敌障诸为缘。愿众生出轮回海，离生老病死波涛。
Good. All right. Thank you very much. Sleep well. Right. Thank you, Ray.
谢谢大家。
Super Ray.
I think so too.